This film genre won't let you take your eyes off the screen for a second. Ready for all this excitement? Top 15 best thriller movies of all time. Number 15, The Talented Mr. Ripley, 1999. Lies can go a long way and bring you down very low. In this film, Matt Damon plays Mr. Ripley, an extremely charismatic and cunning man who sneaks into high society circles through lies, causing disaster along the way. You know what's really funny? Initially, director Anthony Minghella wanted Tom Cruise for the lead, but changed his mind after seeing Good Will Hunting, starring Damon. Also, check out these scenes. Matt Damon and Jude Law actually had to learn to play the piano and saxophone. Pretty cool, huh? Number 14, Zodiac, 2007. Mysterio, Iron Man, and the Hulk chase a serial killer. Look, there's Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr., and Mark Ruffalo. The multiverse strikes back? Jokes aside, Zodiac's about a serial killer who sends clues to the police only to mock them since they can't stop him. By the way, this movie is based on true events, which were told by writer Robert Graysmith. Something very anecdotal as well as terrifying is that the real killer, in one of his last letters, asked about whether they'd make a movie about him and asked about the actor who would play him. Creepy, right? Number 13, Misery, 1990. Unbearable tension and claustrophobia. Based on a Stephen King novel of the same name, Misery tells the story of writer Paul Sheldon, played by James Caan, who after a car accident is rescued and imprisoned by his biggest and most psychopathic fan, Annie Wilkes, played by Kathy Bates. Who will save him now? The fear and tension that Bates inspired was so great that she won the Oscar for Best Actress in 1990, and also the Golden Globe in the same category. Incredible. Likewise, the moment where she breaks Paul's legs, again, is considered one of the scariest scenes ever. Oh, it hurts just watching it. Number 12, The Manchurian Candidate, 1962. Starring chairman of the board Frank Sinatra, this film is about a military man captured and brainwashed by the Soviet Union and China, and is now a practically remote-controlled assassin with nothing he can do. How intense. But nothing as intense as this scene, where Sinatra breaks a board with one blow, breaking his finger in real life. Ouch! This injury caused him discomfort until his death. So Sinatra was not only a legendary singer, but also a fully committed and professional actor, wouldn't you say? Number 11, Memento, 2000. This is the most iconic movie about amnesia and chronologically messed up plots. Directed by Christopher Nolan, Memento revolves around a man investigating the murder of his wife. However, he has a big problem. He can't retain new memories. Totally baffling. Can you believe that the highly complex plot of this movie was written during a road trip by brothers Christopher and Jonathan Nolan? But even more impressive is that the entire shoot was done in just 25 days, less than a month. As a bonus, if you bought the DVD, it came with a chronological version of the movie that was only unlocked if you took a quiz. That's really cool. Number 10, The Sixth Sense, 1999. This movie can make you sad and scared at the same time. The legendary Bruce Willis stars as a child psychologist trying to help a boy cope with his problems, mostly because he can see ghosts. Disturbing, right? For this film, Haley Joel, who plays Little Cole, was chosen by the director, M. Night Shyamalan, because he was the only kid who attended the casting wearing a tie. Can you believe it? But he also said he read the entire script 3 times the night before. He's a genius. However, he had a really hard time intentionally crying, so Bruce Willis yelled at him before some scenes, so the boy would be sensitive during filming. Bruce, you're a monster. Number 9, Double Indemnity, 1944. Treason and opportunism. Double Indemnity tells the story of a woman who, together with her lover, conspires to murder her husband in order to collect a hefty life insurance policy. However, nothing will turn out as expected. Justice? You'll have to see the movie to find out. Now, here are some fun facts. The supermarket featured in the movie was built as an imitation of a Hollywood store. Yes, the products were totally real, and since the shooting took place during the rationing era, the production team had to hire security guards to prevent anyone from breaking in and stealing. Still, several things mysteriously disappeared. Number 8. Shutter Island, 2010. This film is the epitome of suspense and paranoia. Directed by Martin Scorsese and starring none other than Leonardo DiCaprio and Mark Ruffalo, Shutter Island is about two agents who are sent to a remote island to investigate the mysterious disappearance of a female assassin. But soon discover there's much more to fear there. I told you, absolute paranoia. Mind you, this magnificent film was made in a hurry, as Scorsese and DiCaprio were already scheduled to shoot The Wolf of Wall Street. So filming only took 4 months. By the way, they almost swapped the Hulk for Iron Man, as Robert Downey Jr. was also considered for Ruffalo's role. Number 7. Parasite, 2019. I won't get tired of saying it, lies are very, very bad. In this film, a young man from a humble family forges degrees to pass himself off as a tutor in a wealthy house, and through more lies, his whole family ends up working there. What could possibly go wrong? Well, let's just say that sustaining their lies requires a lot of violence. Parasite was written as a strong social critique, partly from the director Bong Joon-ho's own experience as a tutor in a millionaire's home, feeling strongly that he didn't belong there. Food for thought, ain't it? Number 6. The Father, 2020. This movie will make you cry, shudder, get frustrated, and want to hug Anthony Hopkins, one of the greatest actors of all time. The Father is about an 80-year-old man who watches his reality slowly crumble as he suffers memory loss and is abandoned by his daughter. This film really hurts. Initially, director Florian Zeller wrote The Father to be a play, and it was, but then decided to make it into a movie, adapting the lead role specifically for Hopkins, hence why it fits him so perfectly. So much so that he won the Oscar for Best Actor in 2021. Impressive. Number 5. Chinatown, 1974. It all starts with a betrayal. Directed by Roman Polanski and starring the great Jack Nicholson, Chinatown is about a detective investigating the murder of a certain Hollis Mulwray in what seemed to be a revenge for infidelity. However, following some clues, he uncovers a real estate plot that puts all of Los Angeles in check. Can you believe it? This film is based on a true story, where the real Hollis Mulwray was killed for surrounding himself with a circle of corruption in the city. By the way, a rather Polanski fact was that the director pulled out some strands of actress Faye Dunaway's hair because he felt it ruined the shot and she ran away crying from the scene. Poor thing. Number 4. Psycho, 1960. After watching this film, many people started showering facing the door. I have no proof, but no doubts either. Directed by the master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock, Psycho tells the story of the deranged Norman Bates, who runs a motel where he kills his guests. Yeah, you'll never make a reservation again without thinking twice. But off camera, something rather lurid was that Hitchcock forbade his actors to give interviews because he didn't want them to carelessly reveal details. A really anecdotal fact is that this was the first time a toilet was featured in a movie. A great day for toilets. Number 3. Basic Instinct, 1992. This movie has one of the sexiest and most intimidating scenes in cinema. Yes, exactly that one. How was it planned? Well, it turns out it wasn't in the original script, but there are 2 versions about its origin. According to the director, Paul Verhoeven, Sharon Stone improvised. And according to Sharon Stone, Verhoeven demanded that she shoot the scene without underwear. Who do we believe? Well, anyway, starring Michael Douglas, Basic Instinct tells the story of a writer who seems to narrate her murders in her books, but there's nothing to charge her with. Will she get away with this? Number 2. North by Northwest, 1959. Him again. Yeah, Alfred Hitchcock. Everything he does is just great. North by Northwest, starring Cary Grant, is about a regular guy who was suddenly turned by the CIA into a fake secret agent to distract attention from the real agent. Danger? Where? And here's the fun fact. Prowling outside was very expensive, so Hitchcock had Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer plant trees to shoot the forest scene. Something similar happened with the Mount Rushmore scene. It's not real, it's a studio replica. You're not ready to meet the champion of this top, but it's coming for you anyway. Number 1. The Silence of the Lambs, 1991. Every film Anthony Hopkins stars in is revered, and The Silence of the Lambs, in which he played horror icon Hannibal Lecter, is for many his best role, so much so that it earned him his first Oscar for Best Actor. This film also won the Oscars for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, and Best Adapted Screenplay. The plot? Don't ask me, just watch it. It's absolutely great. Super genius, super murderous, super mysterious serial killers. By the way, Sean Connery was the first choice to be Hannibal, but he turned down the role. Thank you, Sean Connery. Thank you indeed. Without Anthony Hopkins, it wouldn't be the same. Do you agree with my selection? Tell me in the comments what other movies should have made it into the top. Don't leave without liking the video and subscribing to the channel. See you next time.